When we try to log in or sign up and receive an error message, we get a standard alert dialog, and this is actually a material alert dialog, which is not specific to iOS. For iOS, we want to be using a Cupertino alert dialog, and we need to import the package Cupertino. Let's hit save, type in an email, click login, and then we get the dialog for iOS. Instead of having to do the platform check here, where we would type platform.isIOS, and we would need to import .io for this, and then returning the Cupertino alert dialog or the alert dialog if it's Android, we can actually make a widget for this. So let's erase this, and instead we're going to create something called an error dialog, where we pass in just the content, and the content in this case would be state.failure.message. Let's create a new folder inside of our lib directory called widgets. And widgets is going to contain all of the widgets that we use throughout our app and are not specific to one screen. In here, let's make the barrel file, and then we'll make error dialog.dart. Inside the barrel file, we can export error dialog.dart, and now we can create our error dialog. This is going to be a stateless widget. Import material, final string title, and final string content. We can generate the constructor by hitting command period or control period, and then the Dart data class VS Code extension gives me access to generate constructor, which then generates the constructor with me with @required. Now, this .title is not going to be @required. We can make it optional and have a default value set to error. And down here in the build method, we'll do the platform check. So platform, and import .io, .isIOS. Then we want to call a function called showIOSDialog and pass in the context. Otherwise, we want to call showAndroidDialog and pass in the context. Here we're going to have a Cupertino alert dialog, showIOSDialog, takes in the build context, and we're going to return a Cupertino alert dialog with a title, text, title. Content will be our passed in content. And then we'll also have an action to dismiss the dialog. This is going to be a Cupertino dialog action. The child will be const text OK. And the onPressed, we'll call navigator.of context.pop to pop the dialog away. Now let's duplicate this. And here we're going to have it return just an alert dialog instead of a Cupertino alert dialog. Show Android dialog. And then dialog action does not exist. Instead, we're going to be using a flat button. Let's hit save, go back to login screen, quick fix, import widgets.dart, the barrel file, and hit save. Now if we enter in the wrong email, click login, we get a Cupertino dialog to make our users feel at home. To see the Android dialog, you can either run an Android emulator or just go into the error dialog here, add the bang operator, hit save. Let's enter in the email again and click login. And this is what will show up on Android. Let's remove that, save, go into our sign up screen, and now we can replace the alert dialog here with error dialog. Remove the title and then pass in the string. Now if we go to sign up and try to sign up with an email that already exists, we get the error, the email address is already in use by another account, and our dialog is working correctly.